If you wake up every night at 2 or 3 a.m. to urinate and think it's harmless, you're wrong. This isn't just an annoying bladder issue. It's not normal aging. And for men, it's very often not your prostate. What's really happening could be silently disrupting your brain, destabilizing your blood sugar, and accelerating metabolic damage while you sleep. Your body was designed to go 6 to 8 hours without producing large amounts of urine. That's not optional. It's biological programming. So if you're getting up every single night, your system is malfunctioning. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most treatments focus on the bladder. Some focus on the prostate. But almost nobody talks about the hormonal control center in your brain that is supposed to shut down urine production at night. When that signal fails, you don't just lose sleep. You increase stress hormones. You impair insulin regulation. You fragment deep sleep, the very stage that repairs your brain and heart. In this video, I'm going to show you the real root cause behind nighttime urination and how to fix it at the source, not just mask the symptom. Let me challenge the most common belief right now. Nighttime urination is not primarily a bladder problem. Yes, the bladder stores urine. Yes, the prostate can obstruct flow in some men. But neither of those explains why your body is producing excessive urine in the middle of the night in the first place. That's the question most doctors don't ask. Modern treatment usually focuses on suppressing symptoms. You're told to limit fluids. You're given medications to relax the bladder. Men are often prescribed drugs to shrink the prostate. But these approaches assume the bladder is the source of the issue. In many cases, it isn't. Your body has a built-in nighttime protection system. When you fall asleep, your brain releases a hormone called antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Its job is simple but powerful. It tells your kidneys to conserve water and reduce urine production while you sleep. That means, under normal conditions, urine output drops significantly at night. You sleep uninterrupted. So if you're waking up to urinate, the real question is this: why isn't that hormone doing its job? This is where the root cause begins. In many people, especially as they age or develop metabolic issues, nighttime ADH release becomes disrupted. And what disrupts it most commonly? Blood sugar instability, insulin resistance, mineral imbalance, chronic stress. Let me explain. When blood sugar rises too high, especially after late-night snacking or hidden insulin resistance, your kidneys respond by dumping excess glucose into the urine. Water follows glucose. The result? Increased urine production. That has nothing to do with your bladder. At the same time, chronic stress and elevated cortisol interfere with proper ADH signaling. If your stress hormones are high at night, your brain may not send the correct signal to conserve fluid. Then there's sodium and potassium balance. These electrolytes regulate fluid distribution in your body. If they're imbalanced, often due to poor diet, processed foods, or certain medications, your kidneys may excrete more water than they should during sleep. Add alcohol or caffeine in the evening, and you further suppress ADH. You see the pattern? The bladder is simply the container. The prostate is sometimes a secondary factor. But the real control system sits in your brain and kidneys, governed by hormones, blood sugar, and minerals. And if you don't address that control system, you'll keep treating the wrong organ. Nighttime urination is often a metabolic signal, not a urological defect. Once you understand that, the entire strategy for fixing it changes. To truly fix this problem, you need to understand what's happening inside your body at night. Think of your brain as the control tower and your kidneys as the water filtration plant. During the day, your kidneys constantly filter blood, remove waste, and produce urine. That's normal. But at night, the control tower changes the instructions. When you fall asleep, a small but powerful structure in your brain, the hypothalamus, signals the release of antidiuretic hormone, or ADH. This hormone travels through your bloodstream to your kidneys and essentially says, slow down, conserve water, we're sleeping. Inside your kidneys are millions of microscopic filtering units called nephrons. At the end of each nephron are tiny channels that either let water leave your body as urine or pull it back into circulation. ADH acts like a key. It unlocks special water channels called aquaporins that allow water to be reabsorbed instead of flushed out. More ADH at night means more water is reabsorbed. Less urine is produced. You stay asleep. Now here's where things go wrong. If your blood sugar is elevated, even mildly, your kidneys are forced into emergency mode. Glucose is not supposed to spill into urine, but when blood sugar exceeds a certain threshold, your kidneys cannot reabsorb it all. Glucose enters the urine, and water follows it through osmosis. Imagine spilling sugar on a wet countertop. The sugar pulls water toward it. The same thing happens inside your kidneys. Water is dragged into the urine stream. You produce more urine regardless of what ADH is trying to do. That's why insulin resistance plays such a critical role. Even if you're not diabetic, unstable blood sugar in the evening can increase nighttime urine production. Now let's talk about cortisol, your stress hormone. Cortisol follows a natural rhythm. It should be low at night and rise in the early morning. But chronic stress, poor sleep habits, late night screen exposure, and metabolic dysfunction can keep cortisol elevated when it should be quiet. High nighttime cortisol interferes with ADH release. It's like static on a radio signal. The brain's message to conserve water becomes weaker. The kidneys don't get the instruction clearly. Then there's sodium and potassium balance. These two electrolytes regulate fluid distribution between your cells and bloodstream. If sodium is too low or potassium is depleted, often from processed food diets, diuretics, or excessive fluid intake, your kidneys compensate by altering water excretion patterns. Magnesium and vitamin B1 also play subtle but important roles in cellular energy production and nerve signaling. If your nervous system is metabolically stressed, hormonal regulation becomes less precise. Finally, alcohol and caffeine directly suppress ADH. Alcohol in particular blocks ADH release almost immediately. That's why drinking in the evening almost guarantees nighttime urination. So when you wake up at 3 a.m., it's rarely random. It's the result of disrupted hormonal signaling, unstable blood sugar, stress chemistry, and mineral imbalance interacting at the kidney level. Your bladder is simply responding to volume. The real issue is upstream in metabolic and hormonal regulation. And once you see that clearly, the solution becomes far more strategic. Now that you understand the root cause, let's talk about what you can actually do starting tonight. Number 1, stabilize your blood sugar in the evening. This is foundational. Avoid late-night snacking, especially carbohydrates and sugary foods. No desserts, no fruit bowls, no healthy granola before bed. If you eat dinner, make it balanced. Quality protein, healthy fats, and non-starchy vegetables. Reduce refined carbs at night. When blood sugar stays stable, your kidneys are not forced into glucose dumping mode while you sleep. Number 2, stop drinking large amounts of fluid 2 to 3 hours before bed, but don't dehydrate yourself during the day. Many people make the mistake of under-drinking all day, then consuming large amounts in the evening. Spread your hydration earlier in the day. Gradually taper fluid intake after dinner. Number 3, eliminate alcohol in the evening. Even one drink can suppress ADH and increase nighttime urination. If nocturia is a problem, alcohol is not neutral. It directly interferes with your hormonal sleep regulation. Number 4, cut off caffeine at least 8 hours before bed. Caffeine is a mild diuretic and also raises cortisol. Both effects increase the likelihood of waking up to urinate. Number 5, support mineral balance. Focus on potassium-rich whole foods like leafy greens, avocado, and vegetables. Reduce processed foods high in sodium but low in potassium. If you are on diuretics or blood pressure medication, speak with your physician about monitoring electrolyte levels. Number 6, improve your sleep hormone rhythm. Dim lights at night. Avoid bright screens 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Chronic light exposure at night disrupts melatonin, and poor melatonin signaling affects overall hormonal balance, including ADH. Number 7, address stress physiology. Incorporate simple stress reduction practices in the evening. Slow breathing, short walks after dinner, light stretching. Lower nighttime cortisol improves hormonal coordination. Number 8, consider metabolic support nutrients if appropriate. Magnesium can support nervous system relaxation. Vitamin B1 plays a role in glucose metabolism and cellular energy production. These are not magic pills, but when combined with dietary correction, they can support metabolic signaling. The key is this: you're not just trying to empty your bladder less. You are restoring proper nighttime hormonal regulation. When you correct the upstream metabolic signals, the symptom often improves naturally. But here's something even more important. If you're waking up at night to urinate, there's a very high chance your body is also struggling with insulin resistance, even if your lab tests still look normal. Nighttime urination is often one of the earliest warning signs of metabolic dysfunction. In my next video, I'm going to break down the subtle signs of insulin resistance most people completely miss and how to reverse it before it turns into diabetes. If you care about fixing this at the root, you need to watch that next.